professional for over 18 years, and recently in the last 3 years completed my master's degree in nutrition. And we love getting together to inspire healthy living and help parents make some small changes in their family's life to help improve the overall family's nutrition as a whole. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my friend Mary. And Mary, you might need to unmute yourself since I did hit mute for everybody. Hopefully you got that. All right. So Mary, let's go ahead and take it away with some meal prep tips.
Great. Thank you so much, Kristen. My name is Mary McQueen, and I live in Oakland, California. I have been a fitness professional for, I always lose track, I guess almost 10 years now. And I have 3 children. I have a son who's almost 10. He'll be 10 this month, which I'm kind of freaking out about. And I have a daughter who will be 7 in June. And I have another son who will be 5 in July. So they're May, June, July, a little royal flush there. So busy times around now for us. And one of the things that I just cannot speak enough on are meal prep tips. And my first tip is meal planning. It's super important for me, especially around this busy time of year, to make a plan. So that is my first meal prep tip. And you can see that little quote up there. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. My kind of schedule, what I do is on Sunday morning, I do my grocery shopping on Mondays. So Sunday morning, I take my cup of coffee and I get back into my bed if I can, if my kids aren't climbing all over me with my coffee in bed. And I go through all of the different blogs that I like to follow with the healthy recipe blogs. And I kind of pick out a couple different new recipes. My recommendation is to, once you kind of have a good thing going and you have several different meals that you feel comfortable with, kind of sticking to those basics for each day, but then maybe adding 1 or 2 new ones in to try out. I know that there's some different kind of meal planning apps and stuff. I don't use them. My friend really likes, it's called the Paprika app. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it. She says she really likes that one. For me, I just do it on my notes. I wish I had my phone here to show you guys, but that's okay. I just go into my notes and I always write meal plan at the top. So then I can easily search for old meal plans when I really don't feel like being very creative. And then I can even find old meal plans from, let's say, last May. So what we're eating is kind of similar, lots of salads. I've put my soups and crock pot away because it's so hot here right now. And I literally just put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I put what I'm making. If it's a new recipe, I'll always put a little link to it. So when I open up my phone, and I can just easily click on the link and have it right there for me while I'm cooking. And then I do my grocery list right underneath. So I put everything I need from the grocery. I go to Trader Joe's. I try to just do 1 shop a week, which is a little bit ambitious because I am a fitness professional. I work out a lot. I eat a lot. And my husband is a carpenter and he eats a ton. And then all 3 of my kids eat more than me. So to go once to the grocery store, I have to be super organized. And what I do is when I'm in the grocery store, I have my whole little list of different ingredients and I just delete them as I'm going through to kind of keep me on task. Just going back to the blogs real quick, and I can post these after when we get the recording, I can post them in the comments. But some of my favorites are 101 cookbooks, and that's 101 cookbooks. Skinny Taste, My New Roots is a really good one. Sprouted Kitchen, Oh She Glows, The First Mess, and Minimalist Baker. Most of those some of them are vegetarian, some do meat, but you can easily make them vegetarian. A lot of them are gluten-free, if that is a concern for you, and dairy-free. And if they're not, you can, again, easily make a lot of those recipes gluten and dairy-free. So that is my first tip, making a plan, sticking to the plan, which kind of goes along with my number 2 tip, which is sticking to your grocery list. When I go in, I usually go after I've taught a couple of classes and it's right around lunchtime, which is a terrible thing to do. So don't ever go grocery shopping hungry. What I do is I'll actually eat a little bit of something before I go in, like a bar, or I have like a shake or something, just so that I'm not starving as I'm walking through the store looking at the cookies and the chips. So sticking to your grocery list, and don't go to the grocery store hungry, because there will inevitably be some items that you probably did not plan for when you were Sunday morning making your nice healthy plan. My third tip is keeping snacks really simple. Remembering to snack if you are hungry, not being starving throughout the day. I usually do something like a shake. A lot of us use the Juice Plus Complete Shake. Just super simple. You can see a little picture of that on the slide. And all you have to do is just do a scoop of that, or if you have the small packet, you're just putting a packet in with some water. I usually bring a shaker bottle around with me on my days, so that I have that, and there's like a little place that you can put the powder in, and then you're good to go with that. My kids also really enjoy that. Another couple snack ideas are energy balls, which again, I use the complete powder for. I have some great recipes there, and I can also post that. We have an energy ball cookbook as well. So if you're interested in that, please get with the person that invited you to the call, and I'm sure they will share that with you. And really simple grab and go snacks, which I'm going to leave for Kristen, because she's going to talk about that a little bit later. My fourth tip is batch prepping or cooking. Some people really like to do the whole like Saturday or Sunday, take a couple hours, make a big batch of hummus, make some salad dressings, chop your veggies for the week, that kind of thing, which is fabulous, fantastic. That's not really what I do. I just, when I'm cooking whatever it is, I always make sure to make double or triple, usually in my case, because somehow even when I make double, it all gets eaten. So things like roasted veggies, just putting an extra pan in the oven when you're making that for the original meal, and then you can have it for your lunch the next day, for another dinner at the end of the week. Things like quinoa are great to make if you, let's say, have like a breakfast quinoa that you make Monday morning, just making sure that you're double batching that. And then you can use that later for things like quinoa bowls during lunch or dinner. And what else? Salad dressings are great to make extra. Hard-boiled eggs, I always, if I'm making it for a lunch, I always throw a few more in, because my kids really like those, and those are good kind of grab and go sorts of things as well. And then my fifth and final tip is to invest in food storage containers. And you can see that cute little container there on the slide. These have been key. Mine is not that fancy. I just have a bunch of Gladware Tupperware. But they're great for, and this one, I think the picture in the slide, you can kind of layer, just do different, 3 different things, maybe some sort of quinoa dish in the bottom, and then some sort of little salad on the top. So definitely getting some good food storage containers will be very helpful. My children use the Planet Box. We really like that for their lunch. And it's just like a little bento box. What I like about it a lot is that it doesn't have a separate lid. The lid is attached, and then you close it, because my people have some problems with keeping the lids, separate lids to their containers. So I really liked the Planet Box, because it's like, you cannot take this thing apart. So those are my 5 tips. And again, if you, the other thing I actually forgot to mention is there's a picture of our Healthy Living Revolution cookbook there, which is another great place to find recipes along with the blogs I mentioned. And again, if you ask the person that invited you to this call, I'm sure they would love to share that with you. So I'm going to turn it back over to you guys.
Great. Thank you so much, Mary. Great tips. I learn something every time we do these calls. And it's funny because you were talking about how you keep your grocery list and check things off. And I realized that's something I wanted to share with you guys tonight before we jump into grab and go snacks is what I use. And it's actually an app that I got on my phone. It's free. It's called Wunderlist, WUNDER, Wunderlist. And I love it because I have a Trader Joe's list that's always going. I have a Whole Foods list that's always going. I have a Costco list that's always going. And you can put a star by certain things like, oh my gosh, we have to get peanut butter next time we go, versus regular things on the list. Like, yeah, we're running low on, coconut oil or something like that. There's not as much of an urgency. And then I can just swipe and delete them as I go through that list, which is nice. And my kids know how to use it too. So I keep finding random things on my list, but Wunderlist is wonderful for grocery lists, and you can use it for other things too. I think it was originally meant for business, but I use it for my groceries. So I love having simple grab and go snacks around the house. That's one thing that I really focus on. If you saw my kitchen counter right now, because I do my grocery shopping typically on Sunday, kind of like Mary does. I do my meal planning in the morning. I go and get my groceries, and I try to go twice a week. I haven't really mastered the once a week. And I'll go in these little spurts where I'm really good and I get all my grocery shopping done on Sunday, and I won't go again until maybe Saturday. But I have to say, I went to Trader Joe's Saturday, I went Sunday, and I went again today. So I've not doing very good right now, but we have enough food between going to the farmer's market Saturday, going to Whole Foods yesterday, and going to Trader Joe's today that, I think we're pretty much set up and don't need to buy anything else, hopefully, until next Sunday when we organize our meals for the week again. So part of my grocery list is grab and go snacks, things that are really easy. And you can see on the slide in the upper right hand corner, there's some yellow and red sweet peppers. Right now, Trader Joe's, and I'm sorry if you don't have one near you. We didn't have one near us for about 5 years after we moved from California to Florida. And it was rough, but now that we have one, I'm so happy because they have great prices on organic produce, and they have a bag of organic sweet peppers right now. So we've been buying 1 or 2 bags a week because that's something that, our kids can just come home and have, a couple of the sweet peppers. They also have some really good organic, I forgot what those are called in the upper right-hand side, the sweet peas. I forgot what those are called. So those are really great to eat too. And then, I just have other things around, but if I leave tomatoes around or cucumbers around, my kids aren't going to grab those things. I will, but my kids won't. So I have to slice them up and put them in easy places and containers for them to grab, and just think about getting creative with things. Even if you go to Pinterest, you can find this really cute image of a cupcake pan where parents have put, the tomatoes in one slot and the carrots in the next one. And it just looks so cute. And you can just have your kids grab and go, because when we're thinking about getting a lot of variety in their diet and in our diets as well, we really want to go back to the rainbow. And the reason we want to be eating the rainbow, which is, look at these beautiful colors here. We've got red tomatoes and strawberries and raspberries, we've got orange carrots and oranges, and all these different colors provide us with a wide variety of naturally occurring vitamins and minerals. So it's also very pleasing to our eyes to see these beautiful colors. It makes us go, oh, wow, that looks wonderful. I want to have a bite of that. So it's fulfilling different needs for us, just from the looking at it and having it look pleasing and having us want to eat it, to, our body's response to getting this wide variety. We don't want to just eat everything green. We don't want to eat everything red. We want to get the rainbow and get these different colors in. So using dips, using fun containers, and just, be aware of the types of dips. Obviously, having ranch dressing with everything isn't necessarily the best choice. There are healthier versions of ranch that you can make, or we love hummus. So we buy different flavors of hummus, and then once a week we'll actually make our own hummus and experiment with different flavors. One that is going over very well is actually taking some of these sweet peppers and taking the seeds and the stem out and putting that into the hummus. And we make the most simple recipe. It's literally 1 or 2 cans of drained garbanzo beans and rinsed. We put it in the food processor with some tahini, a little bit of olive oil, salt, and some garlic, and just puree it, and then add something else, whether I've added raw beet in there to make a beet hummus, which is really tasty and of course very colorful as well. You can add peppers, as I had mentioned. You can make it hot and spicy. You can make it a little bit sweeter. So it just kind of depends what you're going for. And you can't really mess it up too much. And at the end of the day, I think a can of organic garbanzo beans at Trader Joe's is, I can't remember, maybe $1.29, something like that. So even if you do destroy it, you can start over. Fun containers, just like I had mentioned, are really good with the cupcake tin, or think about some other containers that are easy to go. We have a lot of different types of, I just would say, Tupperware style containers. And again, just like Mary, we lose the lids. I don't know what happens to them. They just vanish like that other sock in the dryer. And so I'm always looking for containers that are easy for my kids to put into their lunches, or for us to put into a cooler if we're going somewhere for the day. I really try not to leave the house. If we're going out of the house for longer than 2 hours, I always try to bring snacks. I always try to fill up water bottles, and just make sure that we're not left in a place where we're starving and there are no healthy food choices, because that's not a good place for anyone to be. The other thing that I've recently discovered, again at Trader Joe's, sorry to keep going back to that, is my kids are really enjoying trail mix in their lunches. And it's easy for me because I've done a couple different things. One is I've gotten big gallon Ziploc bags, and I give them each their own bag, and they write their name on it with a permanent marker. And then I lay out all bowls of all the different options. So I'll get, some chocolate chips, I'll get some cashews, I'll get some pumpkin seeds, and I'll get like 4 or 5 different options, and they can go through with a scoop and create their own bag of trail mix. And then they put it into little containers. I have little tiny containers, mason jars that they can put into their lunch. Well, I was at Trader Joe's yesterday, and I was comparing the price of getting their already made trail mix to their prepackaged little containers. So if you look, they have little baggies, little containers that you can buy. And I think there are, I want to say maybe 10 in a container, 10 to 12. The price difference is about 49 cents. So if you're all about convenience and time, it's actually not that much more expensive to get the prepackaged trail mix or the prepackaged cashews. I was really surprised. I thought it was going to be a much bigger price difference, but it was less than 50 cents. So something to consider when you're on the go and a busy mom. And, one thing that I think we so often forget about, and this is my last tip before we move on, is an apple is a convenience food. A banana is a convenience food. So make sure you keep your house well stocked with these easy to grab foods. Berries go bad pretty quickly. Warm broccoli doesn't taste that good if you've had it out of the fridge and you put it in a cooler to bring with you in the car. So think about foods that are easy to take with you, easy to keep cool, or okay to eat at room temperature. Even something as simple as, our local grocery store is called Publix, and I'm sure, Safeway and all the other grocery stores have this as well, is pre-sliced watermelon slices, right? So if we're on a road trip, where we stop is the grocery store, and we go to the grocery store and we look for things like that we don't need a knife or a fork or a spoon or a cutting board to eat. So those are some of the grab and go convenience snacks that we might get. They also have containers of pre-cut melon and pineapple and different things like that. So just think about those as options when you are looking for some grab and go snacks. So some of these you're making at home, and then some of them you can grab right at the grocery store. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Linda, who's going to share with us a little salad in a jar party.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Okay, so before I start, I'm going to apologize because my son, who's 16 months, has a cough, and guess who has it now? Is mommy, because he likes to kiss me and all those like great things that you do when you want to pass germs on. So if I start to cough, please bear with me. So we've been talking about easy meal prep options. And when you have a busy life, work or school or kids, you want something healthy, you want it fast, and you want to be able to just grab it and go. So one of the things that I absolutely love, you could do this at home or you can turn it into a party with like family members or friends, is salad in a jar. Turn it into a salad in a jar party. And basically what you do is you get a bunch of ingredients and you make a salad. And you are making something for the week. So you want to prepare lunch for the whole week, because oftentimes lunch is daunting. If you're at home in the morning, you could kind of grab something and go. If you're at night, you at home in the evening, you can make dinner, but oftentimes you're out and you're away for a lunch. So this is a good way to always have something with you. So you're going to prepare it, the salad in a jar for the whole week. You need about 5 mason jars. It's going to take you about 30 to 45 minutes on a Sunday, depending on when you prep your meals. And it's really simple. You start with like filling the jar with dressing, and then you start to layer some of the ingredients like greens and veggies, quinoa, fruits, nuts on top. And then you keep the jars in the fridge and grab it as you go and just empty it in a bowl and you are good to go. And then the dressing will kind of like cover your ingredients so you can enjoy a salad on a go or wherever you're at. So here are some of the things that you will need. Your ingredients: you want clean jars with a lid, around 24 ounces, works really well. You want to get your favorite dressing, and I want to impress upon you to make your own dressing. There are some really simple, healthy recipes out there that's like 1 or 2 ingredients. I mean, for me, it's apple cider vinegar, is olive oil, and some Italian seasoning. Shake it up and you're good to go. So making your own salad dressing, staying away from the creamy white colored type stuff, ranch and Thousand Island and all those like fancy white creamy dressing that you see that can really like dull your salad really quickly. So you're trying to eat healthy and all of a sudden you're piling all these calories on there. So make your own dressing. So the first layer is that dressing. The second layer are things like tomatoes and cucumbers, onions, asparagus, celery, peppers, carrots, like those like more dense, wet vegetables. And then you want to move on to the third layer being like mushroom and zucchini and beans and lentils, peas, corn, broccoli. The fourth layer could be things like boiled eggs. Some people like cheese. I'm not a big cheese person. I would say go light on the cheese. You can add that or skip it altogether. Fifth layer, things like rice and quinoa and couscous, those hearty type complex carbs that are going to give you energy, is going to fill your tummy. So those go. And then the next one is your sixth layer. So that's where you have like your greens, your spinach, your kale, your arugula. Actually, I want to add another layer to it. That's where you're going to have like your nuts and your raisins and things that you want to stay dry on top. So that's the very top. And you get all that together and you have a salad in a jar. So before you start, you want to prep. We talked about meal prep here. So you want to get all your ingredients ready, meaning you want to cut them, you want to wash them and peel them and prepare them. Boil your rice, boil your brown rice, by the way. Boil your rice, boil your quinoa, your couscous, all those things that you need. Prepare it and lay it out. Prepare your dressing. Once everything is laid out, grab your mason jars and like the layer that we just talked about, your dressing, your dense vegetables, your lentils and beans, your boiled egg or your protein if you like chicken, and then you want like your rice, your pasta, couscous, and then on top are the lettuce and the kale and the spinach. So layer it like that. So then put the lid on top, throw it in the fridge, and it's as easy as that. You just grab and go. Every day for lunch, you make 5 and it will stay fresh for those 5 days. And then you have lunch for like the whole week. So something that's easy, something that's healthy, something that's convenient, and it makes a great party. You guys, if you are having some friends over, make a salad in a jar. Everyone just brings an ingredient or two so you can taste different things, because we tend to kind of stick to the things that we really like, but someone else might like arugula over kale. Someone else might like cherries over raisins, or sunflower seeds over cashews, or something like that. So when everyone gets together and brings different things, it makes for a really, really great party. So try that as a potluck or with some friends. So you get to go home with a bunch of different things that you ordinarily wouldn't do on your own. And it saves you having to buy so many different grocery items. So if you have friends and you guys do like moms or get together or girlfriend days or family days, just bring each different salad item and make your 5 mason jars and make a salad in a jar. And I actually have recipes. I was thinking, how can I pass the recipes on? So get with the person that invited you, and I can pass on the recipes to the rest of the presenters here, and you can go and make a great salad in a jar for the week. And each week you could try something new using the recipes that we just talked about. So I hope that was helpful. I am going to go on and pass it over to my friend Heather, who's in Minnesota, and she is going to talk a little bit more about our the power of plants and bridging the gap.
Thank you, Linda, and thank you everybody for your time tonight. I know that we're running a little short here, so I'm going to keep it kind of quick, but I really appreciate all these tips that were shared tonight. As a busy mom to a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I feel like they are constantly eating, it's always good to know that we have whole food options and things that we can keep it simple to make sure that we're feeding them the best food that they need for their growing bodies, as well as ourselves too. It's a win-win for everybody. And I think it's really important that the whole family is eating more real food. And when we talk about real food, I'm talking about things like more fruits and vegetables and whole grains. Even though my family eats a mostly plant-based diet, I know that we still fall short of consuming enough fruits and vegetables every day. And we definitely do not eat the variety, or like Kristen was talking about, the colors of the rainbow all the time. We as a family tend to kind of stick to the same 5, 6, 7 fruits and vegetables that we just constantly eat. So I know that the USDA is now recommending that we eat somewhere between 9 and 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And as a nutrition professional, I know the importance of getting that amount and that quantity, but also the quality of the fruits and vegetables. But I also know as a mom, a busy mom with 2 kids that are growing and eating me out of house and home lately, that it's really tough to be able to meet that requirement. And I am so glad that I was introduced to a nutritional product that is whole food, and it helps my family bridge the gap between what we do eat every day and what we should be eating every day, those 9 to 13 servings. So you can see here on the screen, there's no magic bullet, but it is a lifestyle that changes and can reverse the serious chronic disease. And it really is about eating healthy, moving our bodies, getting more sleep, hydration, and stressing less. It really takes, the whole wellness package to make sure that we're doing that. But I love that if you look on the screen there, the Plant Power picture, the Juice Plus products, we get over 30 different fruits, vegetables, and berries into our diet every day by taking our Juice Plus. And it comes in a capsules. It's really fruits and veggies in a capsule for adults or for children or people that don't like to swallow capsules. There is a chewable or kind of like a fruit snack is what I tell my kids. And it makes it really simple to bridge that gap. And it is our family's nutritional safety belt. So I encourage you, if you have questions about the Juice Plus products or what they can do for your family, get with the person that invited you and be sure to ask them about how your child may be eligible to receive their Juice Plus for free. I know Juice Plus is a product that my family takes every day, and we will continue to take it every day as well because of the nutrition that we get from that. So thank you guys very much for your time tonight. We appreciate you joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on our webinar again next month.